Okay, welcome to my channel if you're new here. So I'm kind of using this space as like, a way to express my interest in punk, hardcore, and anything adjacent, essentially. Um, but yeah, let's get straight to it. So this is a sketchbook tour. I've been drawing since I was like a kid. Then I took a break when I got to university. Then I kind of got back into it. I want to say like a year ago from now. And I've been really into just, you know, hardcore music in general. Um, so yeah, let's stop babbling and get straight to my art. So don't not try, then don't try. Okay? Okay. So this is kind of like my original character that I created. I kind of took inspiration from the Shimigami from Death Note, as well as like maybe Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street. So there's that. Um, you can see some clocks. This one says tomorrow, don't know, soon, not yet. I think about time a lot, so you're gonna see a lot of time references in my sketchbook. This one over here, misfitting, was just kind of like a little nod to the Misfits. We got like a little ghost guy, and like, you know, my character with a mask, and then the lady's figure. We're kind of just shaking it up a little bit, and that's like, the horrorcore costumes, whatnot. Okay, over here again we got my character just kind of looking himself in the mirror. And back to my character, I kind of always enjoyed when you're watching a show and like the other characters don't see this one character who's kind of like an elusive one, but maybe it's just the character that you see. So that was kind of like an inspiration to that. Here we got chance with no chance. It's like you're taking a risk, but you don't know what's coming. It's like there's no chance, but you're still taking that chance. And this is kind of like, I guess, like a Jester Joker card. Still my same character guy. Okay, over here it gets a little more interesting. So kind of what I was just saying about the characters that you see, but the one that you don't see. So here's some original characters I just kind of created out of nowhere. So I think at this time I was thinking a lot about like Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So here's like a band trying to get shit going, but nothing's really going. We got the lead singer, we got I guess like a drummer, and then a bassist. Yeah. And there's my character again, who's just kind of lingering there. Over here, I guess it's just kind of a little like a cartoon sketch. Not much is going on. There's like a little gig spot, a bar, a place to get tatted. Got a little guy here saying, "Do you play?" And yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much going on. And then yeah, some of the same characters again, trying to jam it out. Again, these are just really rough sketches. Still kind of figuring out my style, but I guess initially I was trying to like actually come up with like a real comic idea. Okay, so now we're getting to the cool stuff. So this was a cover art that I made for, yeah. Well, this was my initial cover art that I had, designed for a beat tape I wanted to do, I guess. I was taking inspiration from my experience in art school, and we got this kid saying, "I don't get it. You're not supposed to. Misunderstood by understanding." So a lot of art, I feel like, you know, you just kind of have to experience it, not think about it too seriously. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, we got my character just teaching you, bro. Just like you don't need all the answers. That's the answer. If that makes any sense at all. Okay, again, we got another sketch going on here. This is kind of like inside that little gig spot that I drew earlier. Um, some kids just trying to jam it out. Kind of just another nod to, I guess, when hardcore started, or just punk music in general, I guess. You know, when initially it was just like a disco situation at this club called CBGB's. And then, you know, punk came in and was like, what the fuck's going on, you know? So I was just kind of like nodding to that. This is kind of cool. I was kind of taking inspiration from, I guess, no wave music. You know, like Sonic Youth and stuff like that. That's why it says no style. This guy's looking at this chick's clothes and whatnot. Can I help you? But yeah, I was just thinking like no style, no waves. Like do whatever you want, pretty much. Yeah, just like another little rough sketch of like those band characters I created. They're just kind of chilling. Not much is going on here. There's my character again, kind of like on the news or whatever. Got a little poster, got some tiny little records, a little weapon I created, a record player, whatever. And then we got some little cartoon news. The news, local punks switch it up at the gig, you know what I mean? Again, another reference to just disco turning into something else, you know? Yeah, another rough sketch, just getting tatted at that little, you know, ink spot that I drew earlier, that cartoon sketch. A cartoon flyer. Oh yeah, okay, so we go back to this little news thing. Local punk kids switch it up at the gig. So initially these cartoon characters, they don't have a name for the band. So I thought it was funny to just kind of give them that name. Local Punk Kids is the name. Yeah. Okay. Unruly Concoctions. So this one's really cool. This is my official EP that I made. It's on Bandcamp. And this is the cover art. This is really cool. I guess I'm taking inspiration from a lot of different things. Over here, this character kind of looks like, I don't know, something you would see in like a Tim Burton flick. And then, you know, we got this character again. He's just kind of like, you know, fixing his brains up, getting his juices working. And then I was also kind of thinking about Bad Brains too, the hardcore band from the 80s. Just kind of like, let's get you a better brain, pretty much. Yeah, not much going on there, but thought it was really cool. A lot of these, I don't really give too much thought. It's kind of just like, you know, I'm just kind of drawing stuff, like whatever comes to mind, like subconsciously, I guess. Here, I guess we got like this kind of weird monster girl just trying to eat a burger. I was just thinking about like Burger Kings and like McDonald's, just ads and shit. And we got the monster burger, we got this chick. Yeah. Kind of weird though, but it's kind of cool. I don't know. This one's kind of all over the place. I guess Oh yeah, at this time I wasn't drinking any coffee too. Like I took like a year off of coffee. Um, but I thought it was cool to just have this little cranky old man. It's like, oh shit, I need to go home and get some coffee before I go to work. And just kind of like, yeah, he's just kind of going nuts, I guess. Not much to say there. Okay, RAINSOMME. Yeah, this is the name of my channel, my Instagram, etc. Just my brand, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So over here, this is kind of when my style started to change. I don't want to say for the better or the worse. It just started to change. So over here, I was really trying to. I was really trying to take my own, you know, grasp on the illustrator for a lot of Black Flag's artwork, which is Raymond Pettibone. So he does all the artwork for Black Flag. And I just thought, I just love how edgy his shit is, It kind of has like this like innocence to it, but in a way where it's like really in your face too. So I was just trying to, I guess, give my sketches a little more detail. And this is kind of cool too because it's still really unfinished. As you can see, this guy has no ears, no real head, no hair. But at the same time, it's like, maybe this is his head, When I finish. So once I finished the sketch, it kind of resembled SpongeBob in a way, but like SpongeBob on crack, you know what I mean? And yeah, for this one in particular, I guess I was thinking of the song Nothing Left Inside by Black Flag. So a lot of the time my sketches, I'm not really thinking of anything, I'm just sketching what comes to mind. And then sometimes I do have a song or a character person in mind. So that is Black Flag, Nothing Left Inside. Okay, this one's kind of cool too. Kind of reminds me a lot of the word art that you would see on Tumblr back in the day. But essentially it's just 3 different pathways. We got one way, we got the other way, and then the road less traveled and the road less traveled. But it's like the road less traveled and the road less traveled and the road less traveled keeps going, and it's just this long ass path. But I feel like this long ass path can relate to a lot of people who just kind of, are that misfit, you know what I mean? So yeah, this one's really cool. This is like my first time really taking a stab at just something really, stream of conscious, if you will. Okay, again, back to just kind of really trying to mimic my own take on Raymond Pettibone's style. That's why the hands are really gritty like that. And yeah, there we go again with time. It's my time. I was thinking of Black Flag song Forever Time. So yeah, there we go. A direct reference there. We just got like this character. I guess maybe an old guy, just kind of, trying to get to work or like trying to start like an experiment or some shit, and he's about to pop, it's time to get it going. Over here, we just got like this zombie creature. He's kind of like deformed in a way, but he's still kind of functioning. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking of any song person in particular. I just thought, let's just try something more macabre, more horror looking. So that was kind of cool. Another cool one, so This is another nod to Black Flag again. This is a reference to what's the song? Swinging Man. So what was cool about this, I think this is one of my favorite pieces. It's very abstract. Um, Obviously, Swinging Man, you know, I love Spider-Man, so you can kind of see it like that. This is a cell phone, but I also kind of, sorry, not a cell phone, just a telephone, and I also kind of I designed it in a way where it can also resemble like a building. That's why there's no numbers on these blocks there. And then we have like this little knife. So pretty much the wife, partner, whatever, is getting a message from the swinging man. I'll be home late, honey. So at the time that he comes back home, she's ready to fucking kill this guy because she has this suspicion that, you know, he's not really, you know, dirty business. He's getting up to some other type of shit, you know, but he's the swinging man. Okay, here, yeah, I can't really remember what I was thinking of over here, but I think it's really cool. Just the perspective, I guess. It's not 3D at all, but like, it kind of feels like it's ready to just jump out of the page at the same time. I thought it was really cool. I can't remember what I was trying to draw initially. Over here, there was something going on, but I just kind of like covered it. And then this is kind of what I ended up with. And you can just take it as you will, I guess. But for me, we just got this guy that's just kind of like battling his demon, you know what I mean? Kind of like his last mission, and he wins the game. But it's not a game, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, this is pretty cool. Over here, another unfinished piece. Don't really know what to say for here. It was around Easter. I was trying to do something. We got this bunny. We got this little character who kind of has like some Sonic looking ass hair. And he's just saying, I wanted Playboy Bunny. What the? You know what I mean? There's like a father figure here who I drew initially and I just kind of erased him out. It's a kid's birthday. He just wanted to have some fun, you know what I mean? But not this kind of fun. You know, he's too old for like the little mascots. So thought that was kind of funny, but yeah, unfinished. Okay. This one's pretty cool too. This is like more kind of word art style. This one I was directly referencing a song and a band, Black Flag. You know, we got this sun, and then we got eyes, rise. You know what I mean? And this was also kind of like, still like stream of consciousness, but still like, you know, making a nod to to Bad Brain, sorry. So it's kind of like a mix up. And then yeah, it's really cool because it is word art, but it is also like a visual representation of a sun. So it's kind of a mix of both, and I thought that was really cool. Okay, another cool one. So this, I guess when you look at it right away, you might be thinking of like Venom. And yeah, I was inspired by the Venom characters of Spider-Man, but I was trying to do it like my own way. And yeah, we got this guy. I guess you can call him like a street punk, whatever, but he's infected, you know, he's got something going on and he can't stop. And I was pretty much thinking of Darby Crash of the Germs, you know what I mean? And yeah, this one's really cool. I have like an idea to kind of like develop this a little bit further into like another side project, but yeah, Darby Crash is like a crazy character, and I just thought of him right away. And yeah, shout out the Germs. Okay, this is really cool too. This is the cover art for like the first ever zine and print that I put out. Um, and yeah, I guess I was thinking about Out of Step by Minor Threat. You know, we got like this little globe here resembling, I guess, what this character once knew as his own world, but now he's saying, fuck that, I'm doing my own thing. I'm marching to the beat of my own drum, you know what I mean? Um, and yeah, this character, he's kind of like an enigma, you know? He's not necessarily like, you know, any character. He's just kind of like a spirit, you know? Just kind of like, go your own way, you know? We're doing our own thing. We're the misfits, and we're proud to be different. So yeah, Out of Step, Minor Threat, right there. Okay, this one, kind of a weird one, but I was just trying to see how many phrases, questions can I get that make sense with just the words that I have. Another stream of consciousness post. This was included in my first zine. And yeah, who are you not supposed to be? You know, supposed to be who you are not supposed to be who you are. You are not supposed to be who, you know what I mean? So I guess it's just kind of like a question to self. Who are you really? You know, identity. That's pretty much all it is, yeah. This one is really cool. I guess kind of like the other one with the sun. This isn't like crazy word art, but it's pretty direct. Other conventions, you know, we're taking a different approach to things. We are moving at our own speed. So we got like this little rocket, you know, and outer space. And I guess style wise, I was pretty inspired by, you know, the little lightning strike on Washington DC for Bad Brains cover art. Bad Brains. Yeah, so that's kind of like my own little spin on it, I guess. We're just doing our own thing at our own speed, yeah. Okay, this one, more word art, but also like a visual art. So it's pretty much just saying right way, left, you know, all the way to get to here. So it's like a stop sign, but it's like disguised, a stop sign disguised, but it's pretty much saying go which way you want to go at the end of the day. You know, whatever that means to you, right way, left. Yeah, I was also just thinking about like skating, I guess. Yeah, not too much to say about that, just more stream of consciousness, but I thought it's pretty cool. Okay, so we got this figure here who's kind of made up of a bunch of different things. I was just thinking about society, really. Yeah, another kind of like stream of consciousness though, but it is society at the end of the day. Here we got this little strip making sense of what doesn't make sense to the senseless. So you might be like, what the hell does that mean? But it's pretty much just doing what makes sense to you. You know, a lot of the time what makes sense to you doesn't make sense to anyone else. And, you know, a lot of people don't really think very deeply. Senseless, you know what I mean? So in that way, that's what I meant. And this is kind of like an amalgamation of everything. This is like, you know, I don't get it, blah. But then it's like, yeah, you don't get it, fuck you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a mix of all these emotions at once, you know what I mean? So that's what it is. Okay, this was also included in my first zine. Um, yeah, I was thinking pretty much about Black Flag Rise Above. We got some mountains, it's cold, it's the winter, and then we got the black flag at the top there. So, yeah, not too much to say there. This one is pretty neat, you know, very clean, and I feel like this has potential, you know, to be in like something bigger than my own zine. But yeah, Rise Above Black Flag. Yeah. RAINSOMME. Go follow me there. Instagram at RAINSOMME with 2 M's. This is very unfinished. I don't like this at all. Um, can't really remember what I was thinking about here. I just thought jigsaw, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's kind of messy. Kind of cool, but kind of messy. Very unfinished. Maybe I'll finish it someday, but thought I would just include it. Okay, this one's really cool. It's a little bit smudged out. Just a butterfly, you know. Kind of has like a really cool, I don't know, I feel like this would look good as a tattoo. Um, kind of has like that, I guess, you know, emo appeal. It's pretty simple. I also kind of included the detail to not make it exactly symmetrical over here. These patterns are slightly different. Thought that was cool, but not too much to say about that otherwise. Um, yeah, this one's kind of all over the place. Don't really know what to say about this, to be honest. We got like this headless creature. Well, it's a guy, but I feel like I was thinking more about like just horror and stuff. His head could be in the box. We don't know. It could also be in the lighthouse, and he's stranded out here just trying to figure shit out. You know, but it's just kind of funny. It's like, how would he know? Because he doesn't have a head, you know what I mean? So, yeah, monster type shit. Um, this was like a draft of like a final version that I made of this idea. Um, yeah, kind of weird. I guess in a way, I was kind of thinking of like Monsters Inc., but then I was also kind of thinking of like, I don't know, like some kind of bad dream simulator situation. We got like this room, a kid with like his head popping out of different areas out of the bed, and then we got this little hammer here. It's like, fuck. um, yeah, I can't really remember what I was thinking about here, to be honest. But it's kind of like a little game too. Yeah. Okay. So this is kind of like the final version of what I was trying to do initially. Um, and then I guess once the idea was more realized, I was thinking more about Teenage Riot by Sonic Youth. You know, just being a kid, being kind of moody all the time, whatever. When things get to you, it's like, gotcha, you know what I mean? But it's like, this thing kind of got you because you're supposed to hit it. Yeah. So that's that. Um, just another kind of basic print. We got some dice here. Um, Yeah, not too much to really say. I think I was just thinking more of like, emo stylings. For some reason, a lot of emo music is just kind of like referencing sports and stuff. And I thought, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Let's just think of like more tangible stuff like board games and whatnot. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's also hella simple. Yeah, not much to say about that. Okay. Oops. This one's kind of cool. Um, we got like an oak tree with some branches, and then a hat that just got caught up there. Think out loud. Um, I think this is just kind of like a reference to more along the lines of the straight edge youth crew movement. Um, yeah, the think. Let's focus. I don't know, but the I is like an exclamation mark. Just kind of. Yeah, just straightforward, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy. Okay. Again. Oh. Another simple thing. Also thinking more about, the straight edge youth crew. I think this is more of like a reference to youth of today. Take a stand. We got this shoe. It's like the bottom, the sole of a shoe, and I thought it was kind of cool. You might not look at it and you might not see a shoe, but that's kind of like what I like to do sometimes. Kind of give you like different kind of perspective, like not make things too on the nose, if you know what I mean. But yeah, we got a shoe kind of stomping on you. But yeah, take that stand, take a stand. You for today. Um, this is really unfinished. Don't know what to say here. Okay, this is kind of cool. So this is called the pleasure machine. Um, Again, I guess take it as you will. We got this figure here who I guess initially I was trying to draw a woman, then it just turned into a dude. So I guess this is me, whatever. We got an arm here, and we got a machine, and we got some wires, and it's plugged to the hand here. So I initially was thinking about the song Gimme 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 by Black Flag, which is pretty much a take on just like consumerism at the time. I just want everything. Gimme, 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 I want some more. So that's kind of what I was thinking about, just everything, pleasure, dopamine hits, whatever. So that's pretty much what it entails. But take it as you will, though. Yeah. Okay, one sec. Yeah. Okay, this is nothing crazy. It's just a spider and like a trap. But I guess the catch is you don't know whether the spider is free or about to get trapped, So I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, I was thinking of the song Tied Down by Negative Approach, pretty much. Yeah, but not too much to say about that. I kind of like to keep my drawings more minimal because it makes you kind of focus more on what's on the paper, you know what I mean? I feel like when there's too much going on, it's like you don't know what to look at. So, but yeah, Tied Down, Negative Approach. Okay, so this one, another interesting one. Non-toxic solution, new state for the brain. I guess when I look at it right away, it kind of looks like hot sauce, but I was just thinking of just like, anything. Like it could be like a drink, it could be like medication, anything to kind of just give you that clear state of mind. And I was thinking of the song Clean by Sam I Am. Yeah. And the song is just kind of like talking about, getting out of like a relationship and kind of moving on. But yeah, a clean state at the end of the day. That's what we all need. A clean, new, fresh slate. But it still looks like hot sauce to me. Whatever. Okay. So if you're seeing this now, this is kind of being recorded way ahead of time because I'm supposed to be putting out a new zine on my Instagram and stuff. But this is kind of like a skate zine. I started skating in July. Yeah, so we got this little baby here. This is gonna be the cover art. Got this baby here playing with, I guess, a lighter, some lighter fluid, just pretty much playing with fire. That's gonna be the name of the zine. Yeah, just kind of really inspired by like Thrasher and stuff like that. Yeah, not much to really say there. That's the cover. That's the baby on a skateboard. Okay, so here we got two little cassette tapes. Very short tapes. Some cassettes do, most I guess nowadays have like, 8, you can fit 8 tracks, but I think back in the day it was like very minimal, it was hard. So we got 4 here, and I wanted to make it so that it's like 2 different parts. You know what I mean? We got a lot of punk here, and then this is just straight up metal. So Black Flag, Rise Above, TSOL, Sounds of Laughter, Zero Boys, Amphetamine Addiction, and then 4, Youth Brigade. It's about time that we had to change. So pretty much when you finish that track, it's about time that we had to change. We're changing to the second part, right? Cracked Bones. So over here we got Repulsion, Acid Bath, Discordance, Axis, Angel Present, Under Oath, Heart of Stone, and then Dark Throne, Eon Demo. So yeah, I guess while skating, I did have to take a break, but skating, I did get a lot of injuries, you know what I mean? But nothing's broken, and just a lot of wear and tear at the end of the day. And it's a lot, on your body as you get older. So yeah, cracked bones. And then yeah, this is kind of cool too. Best worst case scenario. What's the best worst case scenario when it comes to skating? One answer, But if you can think of more, there you go. So this is gonna be something kind of fun for you to kind of include once my zine is out. What's the best worst case scenario when it comes to skating? That's for you to figure out. Yeah. And then we got some more. So this is not part of the skate zine. This is just my own little thing. I think this is the end of my sketchbook. But again, my channel name, my brand name, RAINSOMME with 2 M's. We got 2 boxing gloves there. And yeah. We're just fighting, We're pushing through. I don't really know what much to say here. And is this the end? No, there's one more. There's one more. Okay. this is the end. So this, again, you know, time. I'm always thinking about time. Here we got like a little edgy pendulum going on here. We got some spiky balls hanging from God knows what. And then initially that was just kind of that was the end of my sketch. But I felt like, nah, it still needs something else to kind of give it more edge. So I included this little street punk here. And he's looking up, and as you can see, like his hair is spiky. And he's like, oh shit, what the hell is that? Is that supposed to be me? Is that supposed to be a sign for me? But yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. It's like, the hell's going on? Running out of time, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the end of my sketchbook, I think. Yes, that's the end of my sketchbook. I will try and do some more. Maybe in like another year or so, I'll have like a part 2. But yeah. Follow me at RAINSOMME with 2 M's on IG. Yeah, I'm just kind of using this space again as like a platform to just express my interest in all things punk, hardcore, and adjacent. So thanks for sticking around, and we'll hope to do more shit like this, right? Alright, peace.